Welcome back to Soccer Card United. It's episode 250 of the greatest soccer card podcast in the world. My name is Jason. That's Enzo. Enzo, happy 250.
Happy 250, Jason. You know, it's been a good one. It's been a while. We've been doing this for many a year at this stage. It was actually crazy, you know.
We had a kind of a special episode on episode 200. And I think episode 200 to episode 250, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that has been the slowest 50 episodes to release.
Yeah, it's been almost a year, I think. I think that was December.
Right, yeah. So it's been a long kind of like...
a long 50.
A long 50.
Which, in fairness, speaks to everything else that's going on, kind of behind the scenes. People don't get to see. We have not been free.
No, we haven't been off. No.
That's exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not that we have done less to get here slower. Yeah. We've been doing more, which is why this has been a bit of a burn.
Yeah, and I think also like the when we started and stuff, we would have definite periods where there was no podcast, and then when there was a podcast, it was like twice a week without fail or whatever.
100%.
But now it's been over this 50 episodes. It's been kind of like there's been one every week, but like there's supposed to be one every week, but sometimes there isn't and all that stuff. So anyway, so thank you to everyone for sticking with us between episode 200 and episode 250. And based on the last 10 or 20 episodes, I believe we're going to be getting to episode 300 a lot more quickly than we got from 200 to 250.
That's a big statement, Jason, because you like your Christmas breaks. You know, you're not looking ahead to the Christmas and the New Year period.
Yeah, I know, but that's 2 weeks at Christmas that's fine. You know, I'm very much of the Spanish or German equation as opposed to the Premier League.
Yeah, you're not doing you're not keeping up with the Premier League schedule.
I'm not playing on Stevens' day.
No, certainly not.
No,
I once worked on Stevens' day. It was an absolute disaster.
Yeah, so I've done that as well. It's not good, just now.
No, not great. No. Times have changed.
And Stevens' Day, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, is the 26th of December.
Yeah, just after Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll say this, Jason. I think episode 300 will mark especially. I don't think this one is getting a special treatment. No, was that correct?
That's right. There was a couple of ideas floating around as to whether or not we should do something special for this one, including opening some crazy wax. There was talk of doing our top 10 most iconic soccer cards. There was all sorts of stuff going on. But I think I think the celebration for episode 250 is that it's coming at the end of a long, consistent string of podcasts.
That's right.
And it's almost like we got our mojo back on episode 250.
You know, anyone that's just joining us now has never kind of joined us prior. This won't seem like that much of a kind of compliment. But I would say this episode, you could argue, is probably the cleanest looking one from the video point of view, because the backgrounds are probably as good as they've been throughout the entire journey of the podcast. And they're still not perfect, don't get me wrong, but you're looking well set up there, Jason. You have a bookshelf in the background. You have a good field of depth. Mine is still a bit blank. There's a lot to be done over here.
Yeah.
But it's still looking a lot better than it has done many. I think like some of our clips, and I was like, Jesus, look at this.
Yeah, where it looks like we're kind of like reporting from a sort of like some sort of active zone.
A bunker.
Yeah.
Letting the world know about what's going on in soccer cards as we're, avoiding drones.
Yeah, an earthquake or something like that.
That's right.
Yes. So for people that don't know, like your room back there, there's that goes for the distance from the chair to the back wall is massive. It's a huge room.
I can stand up and walk over there if you want.
Well, the listeners won't get much out of that, but I think they'll understand the amount of time it takes for you to get off and back on the mic.
That's right. Let me say. So I've stood up. Any of the viewers there can see my nice chair. I am wired up here, so it goes further back, but the wire is limiting me.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be done in this room, is what you're saying. That's a long wire.
You got to understand, that's a long wire. So there we are. So that's, I think we're finally, we're finding a rhythm here on episode 250, which is good.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that as well. And even like YouTube box openings are back. We're getting, we've been doing well. A few reels.
Somebody said to me last week. Somebody said to me about last week's episode. Someone who doesn't usually listen to the podcast, but is family or friend. I won't get any more specific than that, right?
Okay.
And they said, I heard your latest podcast, and they started quoting bits back to me, and they were like, I was wondering, like, why is this not like, why are they talking about this? Like, why are they so kind of like, we were kind of like, I think, talking over each other, making the same points, or like we kept losing our train of thought or whatever. And they were like, do you not have like a producer or something? And I was like, no. They were like, "Why do people listen?" And I was like, "Because we're the greatest soccer card podcast in the world."
Yeah, it's an acquired taste, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
An acquired taste. And again, as with anything that we are doing, Jason, at Soccer Cards, at the Dublin Card Show, any of our little ventures, I always think there's a lot of scope for improvement, and that excites me because we're already top of the game. Do you know?
So yeah, imagine how big the gap will be from us to the next Soccer Card podcast if we do XYZ.
That's right. Yeah. That if is a big if, but we'll get there. I think because to be honest, Jason, I don't think a producer is a million miles away. We could, I've heard producers on the Sports Card Nonsense podcast. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
Do you know? To have an active producer, would we have to be in the same room?
No, there would just be somebody else on this call
producing.
Yeah, and they would download the files instead of me downloading the files, and they would put it together and release it and all that stuff.
Brilliant. That's something to look into in the future. But if you are a producer, do not message me saying, "Hey, I could potentially do I'm a producer," because we're really bad at responding, and I don't want to be disrespectful to someone that listens.
Fair enough. Right. We had kind of an interesting weekend. We were previewing this on the show last time, but we were in London on Sunday for the second or third of the London series this year of the NFL. We went to see the Chicago Bears hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
I believe it's the second installment because someone asked me if I'll be there next weekend, which I can only assume would have been the third installment, as opposed to, are you going to be in London again next weekend?
Yeah. The game finished 35-16 to the Chicago Bears. It was a higher scoring affair than usual, as we were told. Yeah.
Let's go Bears.
Yes. I was very disappointed by a few things that happened. We should just, first of all, the merch shop at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was taken over by the NFL. And as we were there was a big kind of like snaking queue for that. And as we were in the queue, and the barriers were covered in sort of a different kind of like like a poster or whatever you call it. It said a Fanatics experience.
Yeah, very close to home.
That was like, whoa.
Fanatics are here in London.
Yeah. So the fan shop for the day was a Fanatics experience. And I was expecting that when you went in, it would be like all Bears stuff and all Jaguars stuff. But actually, the Bears and the Jaguars had kind of small sections of what was basically an all NFL
shop.
Very interesting situation.
I didn't love that. I won't lie. Mainly, we were contemplating I just wanted a very simple Bears hat with the Bear logo on it. Didn't have it there. Didn't have it at all. They had some just with the C, and I didn't want that hat. I didn't think it looked particularly good. Then we were thinking about potentially getting jerseys. They didn't have jerseys with Caleb Williams on the back, which was, and then maybe they had sold out, I suppose.
DJ Moore, his jerseys were everywhere.
Yeah, DJ Moore, someone else as well. Yeah, in the end, I got a half scarf because we were kind of in there going, we need something.
They didn't even have any full Bears scarves.
Now, I can only imagine the Bears were so popular they had sold out prior to us getting there, but we were there early. And
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think. But yeah, there was a lot of Jaguar stuff that was just there.
Because on the day, it was like, I would say like 70-80% of the stadium was Bears fans.
Yeah, it was bizarre. I don't know. It was definitely an experience, I would say.
Yeah. So I just want to show a picture for anyone watching along. That's us there on the day.
So Jason, again, supporting the Jaguars purely because that's kind of the only merch you can get his hands on.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'll just get a Jaguar scarf and then that'll be that then.
Yeah, you'll just have to accept. And you were kind of in a Bears section and people were booing you and you were pretending that you were very into the Jags, which was fun.
Yes.
I got my half scarf, very much happier with the Bears half.
Yeah, strategically covering the Jaguars half.
My Bears won, Jason. That's how I feel.
Yeah. We opened a couple of boxes of Panini NFL cards before we opened a gold standard and got a rookie RPA number 10.
Yes, Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, of the Atlanta Falcons, is it?
Yeah, at the Atlanta Falcons. 10 of 10. Dual patch auto with a nice color in one of the sides of that dual patch.
And then I opened a Panini Luminance NFL.
I went through them when I got home. Beautiful cards.
Yeah, they are
Luminance.
Nice.
They're really nice design. Really, really nice. I don't think we got great hits in them, but I think that 10 of 10 was the best of the bunch.
People may have seen the gold standard opening up on our YouTube as a YouTube short or as an Instagram reel, and the Luminance one didn't go up because I was expecting Luminance to be one pack, and it turned out to be 4 packs, and it just kind of became like a a bit of an ordeal trying to like pick up and put down the different packs and the boxes and all that stuff.
Without an editor,
Yeah, we'd have to edit it. But then even I think I always think like when you see stuff like that, when you see box openings like that, if you're cutting between packs or you're cutting between cards, it can look quite strange and quite jarring because like I often consider that when we're doing our YouTube box openings, like we can maybe just skip through some of these to the hits, but it looks strange to just go because that's not the experience of opening a pack. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So it's tough. Anyway, the game started off pretty slowly. We won't give like analysis, but just to recap, started off pretty slowly, and then it got going in the I don't know, or late in the second quarter, maybe third quarter. Yeah. Caleb Williams had a good game in the end.
Yeah, without knowing too much about anything about NFL.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a casual.
Which people made very, very, very clear.
Oh, very clear. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
As a casual individual that would watch the L Super Bowl and not really know what's going on, but have a good time, from someone who from time to time will pick up Madden and play it and then learn the rules because I'm playing Madden and I'm kind of figuring out your first downs and whatnot. I would say the Jags defense wasn't at it. That's all I can say. I'm not going to say anything other than that. I think the Jags defense weren't quite at it. I've seen a couple of touchdowns that were a little bit easy for my liking. And that's all I'll say. I don't want to say anything else. I hope that was accurate. And that's all I'll say. Fun atmosphere. Fun. It was fun to be there. Like, it was kind of nice. And it was kind of nice not being hugely invested in the sport that was happening, because we got to just kind of enjoy the experience of being at the game, if that makes sense, without really being too vested. But it was, by all accounts, an entertaining game, even if it wasn't the highest quality, which I don't know if it was or wasn't the highest quality. I'm not an expert.
What was interesting to me was that we had obviously had the experience of during the summer going to see baseball. Yes. And I had seen some baseball like on TV and never really understood what was appealing about it. And then when I went to see it in person, I was like, oh yeah, I actually get this is a completely different experience. Also, it's played in the summer and all that kind of stuff. So it's a day or an evening at the ballpark. I get that. NFL played in the winter, so slightly different. But having seen NFL on TV, when I went to see it, I was like, well, maybe I'll have a similar experience to what I had at baseball, where it's like, oh, I actually understand. But NFL is very much a TV, like it is what it looks like on TV. I was kind of going in very open-minded, very much expecting to be converted, and kind of to be like, oh, you don't understand like the magic of it in the stadium and all that stuff. It's like, but for me, the stop-start nature of it and the amount of downtime and the amount of switching of teams and people coming in and people going out and like, illegal formations being called before a play has even happened. And it's like the plays are so rare anyway that when you're I've been waiting 15 minutes for this play to happen, and then the ref throws a flag on the pitch and you're like, or on the field, and you're like, fuck. So I wasn't converted to American football. I'm disappointed by that.
And I should have properly researched this prior, but I'm pretty sure that's actually definitely the case. Baseball and basketball all-time card sales are much, much higher than the all-time football sale. You know what I mean? In terms of hobby.
Yeah.
In terms of the hobby, I think actually the hobby also reflects that like baseball, basketball are like more popular in the hobby than even NFL is.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, but I think NFL is the most popular sport in America at the moment.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the TV, like NFL Sundays or whatever, are by far outperforming.
But I also think, like, okay, here's one.
Yeah.
Do you think part of that ties into how long a game is? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you have a long form YouTube video, it's going to have more maybe money generated or whatever. Like, you could say the watch time is longer, but it's like, because
I guess that's true. Yeah, they're kind of like longer events. They're bigger events.
Like NFL Sunday, I could imagine having the NFL on my house, turn on the TV on the Sunday as I'm just doing my Sunday bits and just kind of keeping it,
Yeah.
I question that, but I don't know. But I would say, without having ever gone to a basketball game, it does kind of make sense why basketball is so popular, because it's like completely opposite to both of them in terms of it's just speed.
Basketball is incredible. Yeah. It's also like one thing is, and obviously like this is a very specific example, and I'm not going to cast aspersions because I know there are like all sorts of traditions and all sorts of fan bases and all that stuff. But like one thing that's been very interesting to me as I've attended more American sporting events is how much the audience is, and I say audience, I don't mean crowd, I actually mean audience. The crowd feels much more like an audience than a crowd of fans because of how they're directed by the stadium announcers and by the graphics and by the, it's not really like
make noise. Like that's what
you're kind of told to make noise. You're told like, okay, cheer now. It's almost like in Hollywood, where you see like the applause signs or whatever, or it just feels a little bit like, it felt to me a little bit overproduced, to where it's like, this feels slightly inorganic. Like, would people just not be cheering, or would everyone just not really be cheering if you weren't telling them to be cheering? I don't know. That kind of gives me a little bit of pause. But it's still a spectacle of some. I mean, just even the people who are on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. But no, like,
Yeah.
to be honest, like the thing I suppose, and we've said this before on the podcast, thinking about the American sports versus European sports or global sports, whatever, or even just how Americans talk about sports versus how like Europeans would talk about sports. It's like it always just feels like you're talking about the player as opposed to the team.
Yes.
And they do
Yeah.
that with soccer as well, where like they'd say like Messi's team, and like now I think they're calling Barcelona like Yamal's team instead of Lewandowski's team or whatever. But it is very much it's like Caleb Williams' team, like they're doing and it's kind of like that's totally different. Like in Europe, it's like the club is the most important thing. Do you know?
Yes, and and how do you fit into the organization as opposed to it's like this is like very much like a superstar culture.
Yeah, which tends very well for hobby
Yeah.
culture. But yeah, it was fun. Look, I don't want people to hate us too much. So I had fun at the NFL. It was good. I would do it again, even though I agree with you. I had a better time at the baseball.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I kind of like both. I don't even know if I can. I had a better like social experience at the baseball than I did in terms of like when you'd walk away from the pitch, you'd get your kind of food, and like we had obviously American food stuff because I didn't love the food at Tottenham Stadium. But it's like football. I feel more at ease with football happening. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think I get more. This is it. I get more enjoyment of seeing a quarterback throw a ball, someone catch it, than I do a home run happening. I think, or maybe not a home run, but like a run.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I mean, like I have to say, like when the plays are happening, like it's obviously everyone's very like there's great athleticism. There's kind of like a couple of really nice plays where there's kind of like cool vision or whatever, and it's like how do they spot that and all that stuff. And I understand that if I understood the patterns, if I understood the tactics, if I got into it and realized like, you know, what might look to me like, oh, why didn't someone just tackle him is actually because it's a complicated running thing and he was screened by another player and that guy was going for him and then it switched to him. And then, you know, I get all that and I understand if you engage with anything long enough, it becomes clear what people like it.
We cut all this out, Jason.
But at the same time, for me, it's just like there's too much downtime between.
No, I know. Plays. I agree with that. But that's because it's very strategic, Jason. It's chess.
Yeah.
And that's not.
But you could still just do it. You could, like, for instance, you could play American football, and the same guys could do both. Like, there could just be a permanent team.
No! Don't say that.
Why not say that?
Someone else that was near us said it'd be good if the ball was a different color so you could see it a bit clearer. And I said that is definitely like blasphemous.
That's like that's a sacred.
Don't say that. So let's just move on. It was great. I had a good time. Thank you to Panini. Of all companies that actually we got the invitation from Panini.
Yes, thank
America.
you to Panini. Yes,
Panini America gave us that invite. They enjoy the podcast, believe it or not, people.
Yeah.
So there we have it. So thank you to them for getting us there and getting us those tickets, and yeah, treating us right on that occasion. Even if we don't have any direct access to boxes, we'll accept that. That's a good second place.
PaniniAmerica.net/store. You know, that's your direct access.
That's right. What's the problem?
And thank you to the Chicago Bears and the Jacksonville Jaguars for putting on a show there in London.
100%. It was just good. And we had heard the commissioner say they're going to do Dublin or Ireland, but I'm pretty sure Dublin at some point. Probably not 2025, but probably 2026. So that could be quite the year, Jason. NFL going on, World Cup going on over there. Long may the soccer continue, and maybe 2026 could be a year for the Bucks.
Wow, incredible stuff.
Right.
Let's move on to Hobby HQ, because Enzo, just before we came on air, we actually were engaging in some hobby purchasing.
That's right.
Over on Topps Japan.
That's right. Speaking of direct, you don't need direct to get involved on hobbyjapan.com.
Yeah. So this is the Topps Japan edition of UEFA Club Competition. So for the 23-24 season. Which is the season just gone. And we've seen Topps Japan come out as an edition the last couple of years, but it seems to be juiced up a little bit this year. Because as soon as you go on to the product preview or the product promotional page or whatever, and you click through, the first one is a Kubo card that's just a paper card, fair enough. And then you immediately get onto a Topps Chrome card. And then you go another Topps Chrome card.
Can you go back to that last one?
Yeah.
You can't do a Cherry Blossom.
Come on, you
can't. It's been like Panini did it, and it was popular. You can't just do it. I don't think.
Right. There's a Haaland Topps Chrome, and then there's a Yamal Topps Chrome Wonder Kids. I really like the look of the Wonder Kids with the Japanese text
leading the way. Yeah, That's a super factor. It doesn't look like there's a numbering on the front. Whether that's the case or not, we don't know.
Right.
But that is a super factor.
So there's all this Topps Chrome stuff going on, and then we were kind of like interested to see, well, what exactly is happening here, and
what's going on?
When you go on, you have your base checklist, right?
In English.
The checklist is in English. Yeah. So your base checklist is a 200 base checklist, and you have future stars, right? But then you have a base card Chrome variation, which is it everybody? Yeah, it's another 200 cards. So you're in a product you have paper cards and Chrome cards, but like in a much bigger way than we've seen previously, I think. So that's pretty cool. And then you have Future Stars Chrome variations. You have Cherry Blossom Refractive variations, which Enzo is saying has already been taken. But Enzo, there are 200 of them. So each player, I think, has a paper, a Chrome, and a Cherry Blossom.
Right. Is that like Cherry Blossom and Japan? Is that a thing? It must be.
Definitely. Oh yeah. It's like a big thing. Is when they're blooming or when they're falling or something, you go and see them in Japan. I'm apologies for the disrespectful way I've just kind of, it's some part of the time you go see them or whatever. But yeah. Then the autographs is a pretty small auto checklist. It's Iniesta, Ueda, Henriks, Charles Catalaire, Clement Lenglet, Cristiano Ronaldo for Real Madrid, Dyson Maida, Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, Kyogo, Luis Garcia, Lamine Yamal, Marc Casado, Mateo Kovacic, Ollie Watkins, Ronaldo, and Shinji Kagawa.
That is a small checklist, but it's a strong one.
Yeah. So we decided to get involved, ordered a few cases.
Yep, straight from Topps Japan. I'm sure we will forget when they're kind of coming at our door looking for customs duty. We're going to forget that we ordered them. Yeah. We'll be very confused. That wasn't me. That must be a credit card scam.
Who's send that back to Japan.
Yeah, and then we'll be devastated.
So yeah, there you go. Just a little bit of interesting stuff. I like the idea of mixing in Chrome.
Definitely.
We've seen it it's in the we saw an Ultimate Stage, did very well.
Do you think we'll get like a Chrome pack inside the box maybe that has some Chrome cards, or do you think they're just mixed in, or what are we thinking?
That could be true. I'm unsure. We'll have to have a look, but there are some of the cards are on eBay right now and they look pretty nice. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, Flagship went down so well this year that I just think this is going to do decent as well. Like it's a fairly affordable price. You still have your Yamal rookies. You have a strong auto checklist. You have Chrome cards. It definitely seems like a fun one. Late in the day, for sure. But definitely, we got excited to get involved. We think Irish people will actually enjoy having access to that.
Yeah, because we should say the price is pretty reasonable too.
Yeah, it's like under €40, I think.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. These may be on this season may be on every Topps product thing, but I just noticed here because I Google translated this. And it says, because all trading cards are limited production, they cannot be exchanged due to scratches, dirt, scuffs, etc. Even if the card has a printing error, scratches, dirt, scuffs, it cannot be exchanged for the same card. Please be aware of this before completing the purchase procedure. Isn't that interesting? They're saying, I don't care if it has a big print line or a big scratch. I'm not giving you another of 10. There's only 10 of them.
Yeah. That is fascinating.
I don't know if that's standard, but that
could be like a Japanese laws allow you to say stuff like that, as opposed to maybe in America there's more consumer protection or something where it's like, you have to replace that. But could just be a new way of doing things.
Who knows? We talked about Topps Disney and Chrome coming back for the second year last week, and over the weekend these hidden gem cards started to emerge. You saw an amazing Spider-Man hidden gems.
Oh yes,
which was kind of looked like classic hidden gems, and then there's this. So yeah, hidden gems numbered to 10. Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse is a hidden gem.
He is a hidden gem among all the IP of the world.
That's right.
So yeah, basically numbered hidden gems for the first time anywhere, I believe, are in Disney Chrome. I saw this. Soccer Excuse posted it. Bryn posted it as well. That's very exciting.
Yeah, I want to see if there's like a base Mickey Mouse hidden gem, because the Spider-Man I seen was a base, like it wasn't numbered.
Yeah,
I wonder if there's like numbered versions of a hidden gem that exist, or if some hidden gems are so SP that they're just like 10 of these. Do you know?
Oh, I see. Yeah. That'd be interesting. But numbered hidden gems would go very, very well in a soccer product, I believe. That's my controversial contention.
I just like hidden gems, honestly, think are underrated as is. So I think
because unnumbered short prints, like even if they like are amazing, it's tough to convince people that they're that short print
unless it's Kaboom for whatever reason. It doesn't work. Meanwhile, I think hidden gems are one of the nicest insert cards, case of cards, whatever you want to call it. They're not one per case, but I do think they're like one of the nicest. I'm seeing now there's a Topps Chrome Marvel Hulk and it looks brilliant. So maybe there's a chance there's no numbered ones in Marvel, but then there is in Disney. Like Disney could be the first time we see it.
So keep an eye out for that if you're opening Disney Chrome. Obviously, people have gotten their equal results between the last podcast and this podcast. So people may or may not have a Disney Chrome.
This is brilliant. I've just seen a Ronaldinho hidden gem, but in like the luminous yellow Barcelona kit.
Oh yes,
like green. It looks so good. Hidden gems are great. I don't know why like top photography is, or like top kits and images are saved for hidden gems only. It's like, where's that in it? But listen,
well, they're hidden gems again. They're trying to make it.
They're making it special, and they've done it. They've done it right. Yeah, that's
right. Right. I want to talk about some hobby news from across the pond over there in America. You know the way GameStop have been getting into the hobby over the last year or so.
I do indeed.
Paying out comps and paying out whatever percentage of comps and all that kind of stuff. This is a GameStop press release from Grapevine, Texas, which is where they're headquartered, I guess. GameStop today announced it has entered into a collaboration with collectors through PSA. PSA offers the world's largest blah, 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 blah. As part of this collaboration, GameStop will become an authorized PSA dealer, and PSA will provide authentication and grading services for trading cards through select GameStop stores across the United States. So PSA are now accepting submissions through GameStop.
Yeah, which basically means there's a lot of PSA submission centers all over the United States of America, because there is a lot of GameStops over there.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting to see this going on, because obviously GameStop have introduced their first foray into cards by saying we're going to buy, and I think it's like you can get more in store credit than you can in cash or whatever it is. And then they've gone on to accept PSA.
Yeah, and in the meantime, I think they were doing repacks as well.
Yeah, so it's almost like our trading cards, because we've seen loads of GameStops. We've seen like Game over here, like it's still in the UK, but it closed in Ireland, and a lot of physical media places have shut down over the last kind of 10 years or so. But trading cards are kind of helping,
giving them a lifeline.
Yeah. Because it's the one thing that you seem to kind of still need to be able to do in store. People still would like to walk down to GameStop or drive down to GameStop and hand in their cards, as opposed to post them off to what do you call it, a Subhouse or something like that,
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's a good strategic partnership, I suppose. You know what I mean? There's like you have the retail space, you have kind of similar communities, I guess, from like your customer base. There's probably a lot of crossover as well with
probably a lot of people who collect sports cards have been in a GameStop.
Yeah, I would say that to be true.
Yeah,
I like it. There's not a lot of places like in Ireland that they could plug into, I don't think. I think of like Golden Disc or HMV or something, but I think that's a totally different different kind of conglomerate of companies that would need to have their own. Like, I think if it's performing well in the States for GameStop, it's going to be mimicked and copied over here, you would imagine, at some stage, but just a lot slower pace.
Well, presumably Game in the UK would think about it, because they're stocking blasters and stuff like that.
And it could be a big success for PSA to a point where they're approaching Game in the UK going, hey, can you participate?
Yeah, I feel like we talked about this on the podcast before, but like, there is a tendency within the hobby to just look at things, and we talk about it like when it comes to eBay and stuff. It's like look at things through a hobby lens, and so like PSA may be like, right, who can do our submissions? Like, okay, let's partner with eBay, or let's partner with this other hobby related company, or this, that, and the other. But then you can, if you take those blinders off, it's like, oh, it actually doesn't have to be a hobby related company. They just have to kind of vaguely know what they're doing and have a load of locations, and we can piggyback on them. And I think that's the kind of stuff that does grow the hobby in a real way, as opposed to kind of just talking to each other all day.
And like GameStop, etc., have been stocking Pokemon cards and stuff like that for a long time. So it's like, it's not, PSA, like they'll submit Pokemon cards as well. So like it's a whole thing for the TCG community as well. It's not just a sports thing.
But I'm surprised that even like, and maybe this isn't true, but like we have like, places like Forbidden Planet comic book store chain or something like that. Like, I don't know how they haven't, maybe they do grading submissions, but like that's the kind of thing that you think would have happened a long time ago. Not even for sports cards, but for TCGs.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with TCGs that are just like, they try to submit via us because they're literally like, no one does it.
Yeah.
It's like,
And we're like, we're not putting in TCGs. We're putting in sports cards only.
yeah, we're doing our sports bulk submission. We're not getting involved.
Yeah. It's not like we're doing 80 sports cards and then 3 TCG cards. That's not cost effective.
No, certainly not.
No. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But I always think it's a good sign when a non-hobby company decides to take on some hobby-related activity. It means we're a growing category.
That's right. We can only get bigger. 10x the hobby. Easy.
Wow. The hobby's been 10x right before our very eyes.
The boom keeps booming.
I'd like to 10x the listenership to this podcast, but unfortunately there aren't that many people.
You know, there's a few things we can do, Jason, but that's a different day.
No, let's not get into it. I was just a throwaway comment. That's not. I don't know if for anyone who's listening, you didn't see this, but when I said that, Enzo rubbed his brow with his hand very, very deeply, as if I just triggered him in some sort of way. But no, it's good. It's going well. 250, all that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, wonderful.
I was going to talk about some Fanatics Collect weekly auctions until I realized that over at Golden, they're doing their October Legends Elite, and you can click on the photos.
Okay, well, I mean, if you can click on the photos, I think that's decision made, unfortunately.
Yes, because I was like, it was kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And then I was like, I can click on the photos on Golden if we need to zoom in on something. I can't click on the photos on Fanatics Collect. Therefore, I'm not doing it on the podcast.
Yeah, fair. It's a fair feedback.
I think it's fair.
I think so.
And I think if I keep bringing it up,
it'll change. Yeah,
it'll change. So let's have a look at these. This 2024 October Legends Elite. I guess what the difference is between Elite and Legends Elite is that it's supposed to be kind of legendary players, but when you get to soccer, that kind of falls apart a little bit. But so I thought we'd just start with looking at what's in the auction in general, just to have a look. So you got like a Shohei Ohtani, 51st home run. This is interesting. This is Pete Rose. You know Pete Rose, the baseball player who was like sacked by the MLB or something like that too, because he was betting or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be a Hall of Famer, and they wouldn't let him into the Hall of Fame. Then he just died. His document, where they like his judgment document or whatever, is up for $300,000 right now.
Jeez.
Yeah. If we're ever wondering if soccer has room to grow, I think we do.
Yeah, it's definitely my God.
So you got like LeBron, Ohtani, Brady, Mahomes, a few Wemby's in there, all sorts of stuff. And then if we go to soccer, there's 96 soccer listings. We don't have to go through them all. Oh, I've clicked on it and it hasn't worked. There we go. So there's all sorts of very, very interesting stuff up here, starting with the earliest lot is lot number 26, and that is a 71 bis Lionel Messi and a BGS 9.5. It has 10 bids and 18 days left, and it's at $10,000 US.
Very nice.
Very nice. There's a Topps Chrome PSG Kylian Mbappe rookie, which we've made our feelings on very clear.
Yeah, orange to 25, Jason. That's a nice card.
It is a nice card. This is an interesting one for me, Jeff. It's the black Select Lamine Yamal.
Wow.
PSA 9 Auto 10.
From the same set where that other one was robbed and duly given back.
So is this is Select Signatures and the other one is Select Autographs maybe or something like that, is it?
I don't know. I think it was
the other one wasn't an auto.
No.
That's right. Sorry, excuse me. That occurred to me as I was saying it. So this would be very interesting to see how it performs versus the Superfractors.
Definitely.
This is like, because I don't even, there's synapses are firing in my mind. How do you think this is going to do compared to his rookie Superfractors?
I don't know. I don't think it'll be as high because I do think Superfractor Topps Chrome has such a weight to it. I think like a black Select it's just not the same.
If it's a black Prism, maybe it might be different.
Yes. But it's FIFA Select. It's a rookie logo. It's an autograph and it's a Spanish kit. And it's a 9 with an auto 10. Like there's a lot going for this card. But yeah.
101. Look at that. Wow.
That 101 used to mean a lot more. That's how I'm kind of feeling as well.
Yeah. This is a very interesting one. So it's currently at $3,355 with buyer's premium. It's got 18 days left, so there's no. But you do feel like if this was a Superfractor, it would already be up at like $50,000.
Yeah, and the reasons behind that are not totally clear.
No, they're not exactly clear. The interesting thing is we don't have a Topps Chrome Euro 2024 inside. There's been talk of that for a long time, but there's still no.
Still no sighting.
Yeah. I presume Steel City Collectibles or something will put some information up, and then 6 weeks later we'll find out about it. But this is an interesting one. So keep an eye on that Lamine Yamal. Keep that in your head. Endrick Nebula, Black 101 Nebula from Cup America Prism. Now this is an Endrick. This is one of the Endrick rookie cards, really.
Definitely.
So again, interesting to see how that goes. 5,500, 2 bids.
I don't love how Panini like color matched the rookie logo to the card. I don't love that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, did you never see that before?
I mean, I guess I have seen it, but you're thinking of the Blue Tops rookie.
Yeah, it's always the same. But like, I don't know.
You kind of know where to look for it.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I think it's just that I don't like the yellow one. I think that's my only issue. I don't love the yellow one, so it kind of takes a bit of shine off an Endrick rookie, but not massively.
Endrick's an interesting one because obviously he's not Lamine Yamal. In terms of like what we've seen him do and all that kind of stuff, and we kind of just see him play well for Real Madrid after having an amazing emergence in Brazil. But again, he has a whole season of UCC stuff that he's going to be a rookie for.
Which is going to be weird. So, I love that card, to be honest. Like rookie logo aside, like the Brazil kit, Cup America Prism, like there's so much going for its PSA 10. Like that's Nebula. Like that's a crazy card.
That's incredible. Like
if he goes on to be like a superstar, an absolute superstar, kind of cements himself as one of the best in the world. Like he's in the Brazil kit, such a famous kit. It's just there's so much right about that card, and obviously his other rookies as a Palmeiras player are like Panini hit it out of the park this year, getting him into FIFA product and putting out the Copa America Prism. Like they really, if he goes on to be what he can be and what Real Madrid hope he is, then these are going to be super cool cards.
Yep. Let's have a look and see if there's anything. There's all sorts of stuff here. There's Messi Flawless. There's a 4.5 PSA 4.5 Alifa Bolaget Pele at $20,000. Good to see that.
Very nice.
There's more Eminence. Whoever's liquidating all their Eminence continues to do so.
Crazy.
There's some Dynasty. So there's a 1 of 5 Messi. There's is that a 1 of 1 Jose?
Yeah, the special one.
Yeah. And that's at $5,000. There are 2 more 1 of 1 Haalands after his big 1 of 1 sale.
Look at the premium on that Salzburg kind of rookie season kit as well. That's major.
That's very interesting. So it's 4,500 with 9 bids on the Man City one, and then 12,000 with 19 bids on the Salzburg one.
And it's kind of funny because the Man City is obviously a treble winning season, so there's a lot more significance to that, and it's kind of to the retrospective rookie thing. But like, there's definitely both are fascinating, and that's.
But they've slightly overcome, I guess, in the opinion of the product team, they've slightly overcome the retrospective rookie thing by using rookie, memorabilia.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the market's reacting, I suppose. But like Dynasty continues to do well at the higher end.
This is a Rui Costa 2002 FIFA World Cup autograph. We were just talking about the Italy ones of these, weren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think these are fantastic.
They're brilliant. Just ahead of time, that's in terms of soccer ahead of time. Like to have autographs in 2002 World Cup product, super rare, super nice. I think it might have been Japan exclusive as well.
I know there isn't, but if there was like a Damien Dove one of these, that would be incredible in that. So yeah, 2002 World Cup, all that stuff.
I thought there was some Irish ones, but I can't remember.
I don't think there's an autograph.
That Messi there on the far left, Jason, is incredible.
This Icons?
Yes.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, in 2013, Messi had a partnership with Icons, still does, I believe, have a partnership with Icons. Who are a memorabilia company, and they created his first ever licensed autograph cards.
Yep. And they were
through
the
Messi brand. They're on card. Woof.
Yep.
5,600. These absolutely have a collector base, have a kind of a passionate
100%. I think that'll do over 10
numbers.
No, like over 10K, like definitely.
Yep. And then we have all sorts of stuff. But yeah, so this is, I don't even...
Some Spectre. Can I go back a bit? I'm getting distracted here. The Messi, are they... Yeah, Messi.
Yeah, there's two Spectre Messi 101 autos. One's a patch auto. Mbappe rookie sticker, PSA 10.
That on-card Prism is so underrated as well, the Road to the World Cup ones.
Yes, absolutely. We were considering picking one of those up when we were at Fanatics Fest, I believe. We chose not to. 2018 autos for Maradona and Pele
Gold
from
autos.
Prism. Gold autos. There's a dual Messi Ronaldo Inception.
Wow, that's old school. That's first year Inception.
Yeah, 2020-21 Jude class Inception. 5 of 5.
Not the greatest time to sell that. I think back when you hit it, if you hit it back in the day, you should have got that gone. That's
this might be someone who bought it and then
true. You never know.
Because I believe there were some recent big superfractor Messi Ronaldo sales. So
and just even
that's
the production of them. There's been so many made.
Mm-hmm.
When they came out, I think they were first of their kind.
Look at this. Jude Superfractor rookies.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
One from Finest. This is the prize footballers Superfractor
The other two are second year.
Yeah. This is at 2,500. We were talking about when all the Yamal Superfractor craziness was happening. What would Jude sell for now? So that's an interesting one to keep an eye on, because what we've seen with Lamine Yamal is that even his
But did we not see that same card for Yamal sell recently?
Maybe we did, yeah. Well, I was just going to say we didn't, like, it wasn't just his Chrome that was doing well. It was like it was the all sorts of things that wouldn't usually do well.
I actually think Lamine Yamal had a prize footballer autograph to about 40,000, I think.
Right. Okay.
He certainly had inserts. Some Messi 101s.
Supers. Look at that Robert Lewandowski patch, 101 from Bayern Munich. Incredible second year Inception.
The jumbo patches that were brilliant.
This is like a genuine amazing soccer auction, and again, it ends in 18 days. So we'll be covering it on the podcast. Probably check in with it.
You can click on the images as well.
Yeah, you can click on the images. They zoom
see there.
in.
Yeah, look, see the prize. Go a little bit. The prize footballer Yamal. I'm convinced we've seen the 101 of that sale.
Okay, well, we'll go and research that, and we'll talk about it on Thursday.
Definitely.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of stuff. Look at that. Copper Prism, Messi Maradona dual autograph.
One of two.
All sorts of Lamine Yamal stuff. A lot of Lamine Yamal stuff. 2022 Eminence, case, tickets, jerseys, all stuff like that. So very exciting.
Yeah, you said you won't go through them all, Jason, but that is the end of them.
That is the end of them. 96 pretty incredible soccer listings.
I do like, because like Golden does seem to do fairly well for soccer at the high end, or at the kind of short print end more so.
Yeah.
Definitely. Although, was that called the Legends auction? Legends.
Yeah, the October Legends Elite auction. Yeah.
Like, I'd say fix that name a little bit, because it feels a bit like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, as you get into the legends, and you're seeing Lamine Yamal, you're seeing Andrew, you're seeing Wemby, and you're like, are these legends? No, not really. Just call it the Elite. What was wrong with the Golden Elite? I thought that was a good brand.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and it's not. But I think they're just at the top of the game, trying to think of ways to
improve. You can always improve.
Can I say, Jason? I don't want to like bog it down, but I just quickly looked at the Formula One that's also listed in this legend, because I do think it's kind of peripheral to soccer. There's not a lot of them there.
Yeah.
But there is some monsters.
Do you want me to bring them up?
Yeah, I think you get some enjoyment out of seeing some of these. I'm definitely going to be watching this auction as well, very, very closely, because there is some big ticket cards in it.
Sorry, Golden's become unresponsive. I'll cut some of this out. Here we go. Whoa. Look at that George Russell Superfractor
auto.
Rookie auto.
Crazy card. Like, who has that? Who's putting up for sale? Like, what's going on? I love it.
What has George Russell been doing lately that this is a good time to sell?
People might be just abandoning ship on George Russell. There was kind of a lot of talk about him not necessarily being.
There's a lot of Russell on this.
Is that a Pat Padasha with the helmet on? The spaceman Pat Padasha Russell. Look at that. Jeez.
Yeah, 2020 as well. Yeah.
Is that the Pat Padasha there in the middle? What's that one?
That's a red.
A red variation. Right. Yeah, a lot of Russell. Someone has given up on Russell.
Yeah.
That Mercedes logo with the 5 is just unbelievable.
Yeah, someone's doing a 2022 Panini Eminence on George Russell.
That's right.
All sorts of dynasties. Look at this. Look, 4 George Russell dynasties. What's going on?
From 2020 as well. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But just beautiful. I think just Hamilton at the start as well. That all 5 Hamilton. My God, like I really, really, I couldn't even tell you what I think that'll end at. That's such a good card for an auction. Like, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton, 1 of 5 Sapphire. Red, first year. I don't know. Because I know like the 101s did crazy for that, so I'd like to see. Because F1 has
This will
had a
kind of
bit
give
of
us
a
an
bounce
idea
back.
of where the F1 market is too.
Yeah, it's had a bit of a bounce back. Like I've been seeing a lot of kind of auctions done on eBay and stuff like that, and there's like cards that kind of had a peak in kind of 2020, 2021, dipped in the meantime, and probably sold multiple times. Is now at like its own all-time high, even from 2021, because the F1 hobby is growing, and that 2020 is just day by day becoming even more
Legendary.
iconic. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, makes it weird to sell stuff like the Russell and the Hamilton.
I
But
know.
we shall only wait and see, Jason.
If some sort of news comes out about George Russell in the next few days, we'll know what's been going on. Okay. Let's call episode 250.
We sandwiched soccer in between, Jason, NFL and F1. Look at us. What are we doing? Is this range, or is this the delusion? Have we lost it? Have we lost our head?
It's Soccer Cards United. It's not all sports united into one podcast.
Yeah, it's not. It's Soccer Cards United. Come on.
But it was a slow week in soccer cards. What can we say? It's not our fault.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We also had a bit of Disney in there. Look at us. The range is amazing, but maybe the name needs...
It's a slow enough week that we're over in Tops Japan translating pages and figuring out the yen exchange rate.
But like, I like our logo too much, Jason. We could never change. We are Soccer Cards United through and through.
Unfortunately, we're stuck with this.
That's right.
And you are too, listener. We'll see you on Thursday for episode 251. We're going to get to 300 much quicker than we got to 250 from 200. Do write in with any questions, comments, statements, or anything you'd like us to talk about on the podcast. Have a good week. And Enzo, I will see you on Thursday.
See you, Jason.